having freedom of speech is important? I think having freedom of speech is very important. U.S. citizens have the right to have freedom of speech. The 4 cases I'm discussing made it to a national court where freedom of speech was the topic in question. In Tinker versus Des Moines, in December of 1965, Mary Beth and John Tinker and a friend wore black armbands to school protesting American involvement in the Vietnam War. The school made a policy that said whenever every student that wore an armband would be asked to take it off, and if they refused, they would be suspended. The case made it to a district court where they refused to issue an injunction. Mary Beth and John Tinker's dad took the case to the Court of Appeals, who allowed the district court ruling to stand. The case was then taken to the Supreme Court, where the decision was made that the students had the right to wear the armbands. In Hazelwood versus Kohlmeyer, in May 1983, students in a Journalism 2 class at Hazelwood East High School wrote a newspaper, and inside were 2 articles that concerned the principal. The articles were about teen pregnancy and divorce. So the students gave the newspaper to their advisor, as was normally what they did, and the advisor gave it to the principal to check over, and the principal found 2 articles that disturbed him, so he took those 2 pages out of the newspaper, and then the newspaper was published minus the 2 pages with the disturbing articles. The students felt that the principal's decision was unfair because those pages contained articles that were not inappropriate. The case was taken to the U.S. District Court, who disagreed with the students. And then the students, still upset, took the case to the Court of Appeals, who reversed the district court's decision. And the students got the principal and, like everybody else, they were wrong. Next. In Popish versus Board of Education, Ms. Popish was a 32-year-old graduate student at the University of Missouri School of Journalism. She distributed a newspaper on campus that contained forms of indecent speech. The cover had a cartoon of a police raping the Statue of Liberty and the Goddess of Justice. There was also an article that contained information about a gang. Ms. Popish felt that the school had violated her right to have freedom of speech, and she did not feel guilty because she only distributed the newspaper. Next. She took her case to the district court, who denied her relief, and then the case went to the Court of Appeals, who affirmed the decision of the lower court. Next. In Bethel School District versus Fraser, on April 26th, in 1983, Matthew N. Fraser was at school at Bethel High School in Washington, and he made a speech nominating a student for student council. And during the speech, he referred to his candidate that he wanted to win in a sexual manner. And the principal was very upset with him, and a lot of other teachers were also. A lot of teachers complained and wrote letters, and he was suspended. And he was upset, so he took his case to the district court, who agreed with him that his rights had been violated. And the school, really upset with the decision, took the case to the Court of Appeals, who agreed with the district court that they had violated his right to have freedom of speech. My opinion is that freedom of speech is very important because it lets you know what you can say, and it lets you say things about the government or students that you have the right to say what you want to say, and you can't get in trouble for it unless it hurts somebody, physically hurts them or something like that. So yeah, that's about it.